Test on the mic 1 2. Test on the mic 1 2. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Holly. Larissa, good to see you. Larissa, while you're in here, I have to say, just yesterday, Justin was like, do you think we could like schedule a quick summer getaway like this summer? And yeah, it's almost August. And I look at him like, yeah, where do you want to go? And he looks at me and says, Myrtle Beach. And I said, you want to go to Myrtle Beach? So I might be coming to a new protest. Who knows? Thank you for the rose piece. Hi, Tyler. What's up, Lucky? Thank you for your heart, me, Jolly Holly. And Larissa's like, come on. Eat, Myrtle Beach, eat, let's go get away. They say what they're going to say. We already have 54 souls in the room. I need to clean my glasses. I don't notice that my glasses aren't clean until I get in the light and all I can see is the specks on my lenses. You know what I mean? What's up, Mama Look? Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning. Hi, Wendy Mindy. Good morning. Good morning, Xtina. Hi, Darla. Chastity has a job interview at 1. I wish you the best of luck. Speedy Grandma, thank you for liking the live. Oh my goodness, 2,000 likes already. Thank you for the heart me and the little heart with a little smiley face. Thank you. I appreciate that. Already 84 souls in the room. Thank you. So what did y'all do this weekend? What did y'all do? I saw you on Sunday. We had a pretty big show on Sunday. Excuse me. Good morning, Christy. When you're coming in, let me know where you're coming from, what you're doing, what are you thinking about doing. Are you thinking about work? Are you thinking about quitting work? You know, all the things, let me know. Hi, Vina. Well, Robin says she worked. The topic of today is just really catching up on various true crime updates. We've had several stories, and I'm kind of catching up along with you. Darla's been, Miss Sunday was in bed, have been sick. We had quite a few court hearings yesterday I wanted to talk about. Hi, Ponzi. Thank you for sending the heart me. Good morning, Steph. Thinking about quitting work. Wendy wants to be free. Good morning, Diana. Oh, I'm sorry, Diane. I can't see, hun. Your little A looked like an A. Wildflower has been helping the family move. Oh, I loathe moving. I hate it. Lisa says, I've been working on a project for work and I've been missing so much work lately. Oh, man. Butterfly Angel is watching her grandbabies. Ooh, Brandy's in the house. Let's pull that soundboard that closer so that I can reach it. Jelly Holly says, I've been really far down the Amy Lynn Bradley rabbit hole. Oh, yes. Let's talk about the Amy Lynn Bradley. I got my handy little notebook here. Yes. How many in here have watched that documentary so far? Hi. Good to see you, Moran. I'm on time and you're late, Cocoa Puff. How can I help as far as, oh, snapperdoodle. Vanna Kent author, I just screen capped your name and I have followed you back. How can you help? In so many ways, you have no idea. So many ways, you have no idea. I will message you. I have a specific case right now that I think that you would be a great asset to. And I would love to have you on my panel sometime and talk about these cases. And oh, yes. You got to get you a team of folks, you know, that will help you. I got a friend that's a PI. Criminology. I need you. Hey, Gail. Gail's in the house. I hadn't seen you in a hot minute. Where you been? So, is it Vina? I hope I can pronounce your name correctly. Let me go back up. Vina. I'm just going to call you Vina. I'm your Vina. What do you think about the Amy Bradley? What do you think about the Amy Bradley case? Hi, Tina. Thank you for using your stickers. Thank you for whoever sent the summer love. I missed it. Popular. Thank you for that. Panel's open, by the way. If you want to come up here and talk about it, you're always welcome. Yes, what does everybody think about it? But I want to know if Vina has watched as an anthropologist. What do you think? Good morning, Nancy. But I would like to know the overall feeling in the room. Do you all think that she fell overboard? Do you think that she was, you know? Good morning, Not. 140 cells in the room, 6.6 thousand likes. Ron says, I'm torn, need more details. Okay. Nana thinks the latter. Heather thinks she was taken. Yellow is the number one suspect. Wallflower says, no, I don't think she fell overboard. Definitely sketchy things happening. Hannah wants a recap, I think she said. Where's my other stand at? Good morning, Mimi. Robin says, definitely taken. Oh, Beast and Beauty sent a subscription. Thank you to Vina. Vina, please come in my Discord. That's a perk for subscribers. You can get there by making sure you download Discord first and then hit the subscribe button like you're going to subscribe again. And the first thing you're going to see is Discord, and then over to the right's going to be a connect button. We need you in there. I have so many case files in there. Lisa don't know much. Bethany says taken. Oh my goodness. Here's a recap. Amy Lynn Bradley, age 23, from Virginia. She was a Longwood University graduate and former lifeguard. In the early hours of March the 24th, 1998, I will. In the early hours of March the 24th, 1998, aboard Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas en route to, um, some islands off the coast of wherever. I don't know exactly where they were going, but this happened in 98. Basically, the recap is she went on a cruise with her brother and her mom and her dad. They had fun that day. They went to clubs, they ate, they danced. The log shows, which where you use the key to get in, that she come in the room at 3:40 a.m. Her father saw her asleep outside on the balcony. This is after her brother went out and talked to her. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he saw her out at 5:30 a.m., but by 6 a.m. she was gone, along with her cigarettes and lighter. So what does this tell you? If you're going to jump into the ocean, why on freaking earth would you take your cigarettes and lighter? You know, I think she decided to go up to the top deck or to somewhere to take another smoke break. Maybe she had a secret meeting with somebody. I would like to know who's who. Um, well, I don't know who that is, but anyway, the cruise director gave me the heebie-jeebies. Yes. So here's the thing. What's up, Marin? Here is the thing. 5:30 to 6. That's 30 minutes. I think she sat out there for a few minutes by herself, and then I think she come in. Yes, you absolutely can. I sent you an invitation. I don't know about back then, but now, oh, whoa, let me change my. Hold on a minute. Let me change my settings here. There we go. Let me get my headphones on. Oops, sorry about that. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, please don't." Hello.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Oh, I can't hear. No, we had this problem the other day. Okay, we're going to do it this way. Hold on. I'm going to unplug my mic while we talk because I can't figure out why the panel's not working. I think I can probably hear you now. There we go. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
So, yeah, thank you for letting me join. I'm always happy to help, lend a hand, and I I typically work behind the scenes when I do a lot of stuff. Um, but this particular case, I distinctly remember now as one that just really was like, there's so many suspicious things. A lot of stuff don't add up. And it really like touched my heart. Um, so yeah, I'm here to lend a hand and give you some of my expertise and some of my thoughts on this as well. But I would like, to kind of hear where you're at with things that, like, how far you've gotten. Um, and then we can just kind of go from there.
So, um, she disappeared. So they were out on their balcony. It's attached to the room, so she has to go in the balcony, in front of the beds, and out of the door, which is not logged, by the way. It's only logged when they come back in.
Right.
I think she either had in her mind to meet somebody and not told her brother, or I think she went up to the balcony maybe for another break to look around and met foul play somehow. I don't think it happened in the room. I don't think she fell over because also her smokes and her lighter were gone.
Right. Yeah. And okay, as a smoker, you typically, if you're going out for a smoke, if you're tired of sitting on the balcony, you want to go look at someplace else, or if you're going to meet somebody, you take your smokes with you. Especially if you have been drinking. I remember her and her brother had been at the club, and they were drinking. I know that there was a video of her dancing with Yellow, and you just don't take your cigarettes, and they don't disappear. So obviously the door, the sliding glass door to the deck was open. Again, that doesn't make sense unless she's leaving to go somewhere.
Right.
And the family didn't lock her out. She wasn't in the room. There was nothing indicating, that she was, taken by the family anywhere. And if she did meet somebody at the club and they agreed to meet up later, then, it's possible, as somebody her age, in that age group, because my kids are in that age group, if they want to go out, they want to sneak out, they want to have a little bit of, say, oh, I'm going to go have a good time. But the door being open and the cigarettes being missing, that's a little suspicious and has never made sense.
Yeah. She went out of the room. You're not going to say, okay, the ocean looks great. I'm done with life. Come on, Sigs, let's go. Right? As little as a minute detail as that is, it tells the whole story of what happened in the room. She went somewhere else. She left her shoes, just as Talks with Julie says, she left her shoes.
Yeah.
So she wasn't going, well, maybe you're not going far. Maybe you're just walking up to the deck, on a cruise ship or whatnot. I don't know. Maybe she was drunk and thought she had her shoes on the whole time. I don't know. But I just know that I just feel like she didn't, not there. I mean, I'm not ruling out that she would have jumped from another pier or another rail, or she could have fell. All of those things are still in play, along with all of the other suspicions. The photo that was found that looks like her, the one that you seen it, the one of her in the bed?
Yeah.
It could have been digitally imposed, so I'm not weighing a lot on that photo. The brother statement on TikTok, I heard he was on TikTok. Somebody was supposed to message me his username, but he did bring up something on his Twitter account, his X account, the other day, and that was a new theory that we didn't hear in the docuseries.
Okay.
And that theory is she was talking to two African American women in blue suits, like not navy suits, but just that kind of tone. They didn't work for the cruise ship. They were at the nightclub, and she was over there talking to them. They
But
later found out that those two.
Follow-up question to that would be, why now does the brother say something about this? This is like new, developing, right? It was just the other day.
He just posted this, but I don't know if it's always been known and they didn't include it in the docuseries. Maybe somebody in the comments can say. I mean, they've had a website for 20 plus years, but So I don't know if anybody else has ever heard that theory before. I hadn't.
Yeah,
The,
I
the
haven't.
theory is that the two women, they found out that they were from Scientology and they were from a Scientology cruise that was next door, another cruise ship. And because they were asking people if they wanted to come tour their cruise ship. So they think another theory is she could have went with them for a tour and never come back. And he apologized to Scientology. That's an update. So he's already retracted and made an apology. Oh, but it doesn't make it un. It doesn't make it where it never happened.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. Thank you for the sunglasses. Do you know what I mean? You can be mad about it and say you're sorry. You didn't mean to say it, but it don't make it unso.
Yeah, again, that's, I mean, maybe that's something that they couldn't release before. Maybe it was said, because a lot of times during investigations, they keep a lot of things very close to the vest, for the specific reason of they want to see if anyone comes forward knowing certain things that they already know in a case, to be able to follow those tips and know if those tips are actually accurate or if they're just someone trying to, jump in and get 5 minutes of fame or, whatever, get attention. So a lot of things will be kept very close to the vest. But just coming out after it's been, what, almost 30 years, 20, 30 years now? Yeah. With that, I mean, I don't know. I seen in the documentary that there were two girls on the deck that saw her going up the glass elevator, to the bar that had closed, and then saw the guy coming back alone by himself, walking past them. And that's also another, suspicious type of thing. I know yellow was on the radar for a long time, and the guy in the suite beside them was, kind of under scrutiny as well because, he had his TV so loud and things like that. But, I know that the FBI tried to do as much of an extensive search as they could. Unfortunately, a lot of evidence got, messed up because they weren't able to come in right away and seal things off like in a typical investigation.
Because of jurisdiction issues, yes.
Right. So that made things hard on them when it comes to gathering evidence. I wish, in my opinion, that even though they came in and looked around to try to see about evidence and things like that, that they would have brought a more experienced investigator who has forensic knowledge, because there are certain places that they still could have looked that may have not been cleaned right. Trace evidence can be left behind. So I feel like there was not necessarily a thorough examination of where certain evidences could have been left behind. And as for the railing, I don't see how she could just go overboard, even being drunk or tipsy, without climbing up on something, because she wasn't extremely tall. And, it's not like her family said she was talking about the future and, had plans and things like that. So, you know.
And another thing is, people are saying, well, I mean, I don't understand how she can not contact her family for all of these years. Is it possible that somebody who is put in that situation never, ever, ever for years and years and years have access to a phone?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on, so like in say human trafficking or sex trafficking rings, if that were to be the case, if she was taken and putting into human trafficking, sex trafficking,
Make it rhyme because we don't want to be flagged. So, trafficking, Rex.
trafficking, and okay, yeah. If she was put into any of those scenarios, um, they watch their people that they put out to work very closely. But then, the longer that they're in that situation, if she may have worked her way to the top, she would have gained more leniency to where she wouldn't be paid so much attention. But that would come years later. But they are typically watched very thoroughly. And yes, they can be drugged and get hooked on drugs. And so
Drugs.
it's yeah, sorry. I know. I
We're over here on the Disney Channel.
okay. I'm so, it's for me, it's just I'm used to, I have to recalibrate my
Yeah.
my terms. Um but they can get hooked on substances that can go on for years. So they will have, and they will have access to phone and internet at times, but for the purpose of contacting the leader in charge. And those records from the leader in charge, those tend to get very scrutinized as well because they look to make sure, oh, are they trying to, you know, um,
Right.
so,
What about all the sightings? Here are some of the sightings. Witnesses claim that they saw her on shore in, is how do you say it? Curaçao? I don't know.
carousel.
Curacao, thank you. Curacao, once running in a parking lot and later at a beach with two men. Then they saw her at a brothel, a U.S. Navy vet in 1999. Said he met a woman claiming to be Amy Bradley. So that's very specific. They've either heard about it and somebody's kind of looking like her, trying to get the clout from it. Oh, I'm Amy Bradley. But in saying she was being held captive. And then he was like, cool. Because he didn't want the Navy to find out he was at the brothel.
Now, that tends to be true. Um, you know, military personnel, they do have to be very careful with what they do or say, where they go, because there are certain things that, get frowned upon. And a lot of them do kind of go low key under the radar to certain places. So that I can understand. Just from having family in the military, knowing those things, that does happen. I hate that this person was not able to come forward sooner with saying something. That would have been really actually really crucial if they could have just came forward immediately and been like, hey, this something here is off. It doesn't seem right. They could have given,
He could have submitted an anonymous,
yes,
he could have like called somebody before he just left and went back to his life. I'm so upset by this because we have, okay, somebody looks like her. Okay, we have a picture that sort of looks like her. But you've got somebody who sat down and he claims and swears. She said, I am Amy Bradley and I'm being held against my will. He should have took that information to somebody.
yeah. So that in and of itself is suspicious, because I know regardless of what position I'm ever in, um, working cases, you have to, when you work stuff, especially in the field that I'm in, you have to be very quiet about things. You can't let on with what you know. That's why, like I say, I work behind the scenes on a lot of stuff, and I can't let things be said. But you can submit anonymous tips. He could have gone to one of the commanding officers and just said, hey, low key, I was walking by this place, and this girl approached me. He could have manipulated the wording a little bit,
Yeah.
because I know people, again, in the military that have done that to kind of cover their tracks for doing what they're not supposed to be doing. But at the same time, when you're in the military, your job is protecting people also. So why hide that? Instead of, a lot of military people have the hero mentality. So when they come up, if they hear somebody saying, hey, I'm being held captive against my will, they'll walk out, they'll find their brothers, and
Yeah.
they can make something happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, every situation is different, and it has to be handled very delicately. And that in and of itself is questionable. Like, did he really see that? In my opinion.
How do you forget words? So this particular witness to me is black and white. You either saw her or you didn't. Not based on description, but based on the words out of this woman's mouth. Right? You're either making it up or you're telling the truth. Somebody named Amy Bradley, that really happened, or he's making up this for clout. I don't know why a Navy vet would need digital clout. I feel like he's telling the truth. I feel like he handled it wrong. Totally wrong. I know his career, and I know what you're talking about, but when I saw that, and it's not only him, the absurdity of this cruise line, the manager saying, oh, there was a lot of people who paid money, and we're not going to stop for somebody, just one person. And and it wasn't the fact that that's how it was in 1998. It's the fact that he's owning up to it right now, just like it's a normal conversation. It's got me to where I don't ever want to take a cruise, because if something happens to me, nobody's going to care.
No, me neither. Like, me and my husband have, we've always said, no. We hear all this bad stuff going on, and we're like, I have no interest in going on a cruise. I really don't care. Because for them, yes, it is all about money. But reading between the lines with the wording of how the captain talks, about the situation, and things like that. And this is just speculation. I'm gonna just say, but from past experience in other things, the wording and how he talks about things, there could be an underlying cover up there to protect the cruise line as well as protect himself. Because the way he words things, specifically, there was something that stuck out to me about how he wished he would, like, people would just, like, let it go, like, get over it, that type of thing.
Who says that?
Right. Like, there's no empathy there. He's a part of that ring that's going on, honestly.
Folks, we have 23,000 likes and 185 souls in the room. Today's live goal is 10 Summer of Love. I'm sorry, Summer of Love. Not love, but love in the lives. If you can throw one, it goes to support what I do, which is have platforms and open conversations about cases like these. Okay. The FBI still has a $25,000 reward for her. And that could be, thank you, Kel. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. That is a lot of money, still, even in 2025. And at this point, and at her age, thank you, office. Thank you, ma'am. Even at this time, I think the 25,000, I'm trying to be politically sensitive here, is worth more than what she could bring in the market at 50 years old. So if she's still out there, why doesn't somebody come forward and just take the payout and send an anonymous tip?
I think that there probably have already been a lot of people trying to do that. But with a case this large that's garnered so much attention, these people that come forward claiming this, that, and the other, a lot of them have to be vetted and really scrutinized, and more or less put under a microscope, typically, in how a case is supposed to work when you have tips like, coming in. If someone's trying to claim a reward, this is how it would go. They have to get vetted. They have to make sure that they have to investigate whatever tip this person has given them. Does it relate to the case? Is it specific? Does it hit any of the marks that we already have? Can it be linked and traced back? And if not, then, it doesn't work out. And so with what you're saying, if, she was taken and put into a situation that isn't ideal for anyone to be put into, why wouldn't somebody come forward to claim that reward money?
Well, that's excluding her family. Her family still is offering $250,000.
Right. But here's the thing. When you have a ring of that caliber, that type of thing going on, they actually make a lot more money than what's being offered up. So none of them will come forward to try to claim any sort of reward. And they're like, especially if she's still out there and they're making money from her, Um,
Angeline.
they're not going to say anything because that trade, and I'm being careful how I word things, those trades tend to be billion-dollar trades nowadays.
What do you think about the fact that she was the only missing person on the boat? Do they target only one person? Hey, Kendra, I see you. Oh, they only target one person per cruise. And what are the statistics of people going missing on cruises and never being found?
There are a lot of statistics, a lot more than what people realize. And that's why I'm like, I'm not ever going on a cruise. Yes, one person could specifically be targeted because they have to watch. If it's a ring going on, even within that cruise line per se, they have to be extremely cautious because no, they don't want to get caught. They don't want it to look suspicious. And so it's kind of a one person at a time kind of thing, just so that it makes it easier for them to all cover their tracks.
Listen at these stats. 200 to 400 people over the last 20 to 25 years have gone missing or fallen overboard. 200 plus missing over 20 years. That's an average of it's 10 to 20 people per year.
I know, astonishing, right?
The hell?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I said it's a lot more than people think. Like, if people really knew, nobody would be booking cruises. But again, they do have to be careful. So they have to be very picky and choosy. And they are looking for very naive people who are easy to target and easy to manipulate and convince, hey, I'm a good person, let's go hang out and we'll do this and have fun and yada yada. And they have to make it all look like sugar and spice and rainbows and sunshine, so that they can string people along. So yes, people are watched. They had 4 days of watching, and the family says, hey, she was the life of the party, she was like noticed, and those are the kind of people that get targeted because they can be easily manipulated and more or less catfished.
Listen to this. 170 passengers and crew have disappeared from cruise ships since 2000. People who have not fallen overboard. This is vanished. This includes eerie cases like crew member Rebecca Coram, who disappeared from Disney Wonder in 2011 while the ship was docked. She was last seen on CCTV in the crew lounge, later found missing. Her disappearance took place while docked with no indication of falling overboard. And so, I haven't even heard about the 2011 case. How many more cases have we not even heard about?
There's a lot. There is a lot. I tend to watch those and for my own curiosity and research. But the cruises the cruise lines, they do a very good job of trying to bury that stuff and keep it on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, yeah, like you said, it's all about this. And it's scary to think about. A lot of the crew and staffs for these cruises aren't very well vetted.
Well, here that brings me to my next thought. So that one thing that they brought out in the docuseries, which I totally agree with and didn't really think about before, is when you are, I think they said 11 or 12 miles offshore, you are now in international waters, and your rights go way down. Everything looks perfect. You're having fun, but you have no human rights at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your own. I think it should be changed to where there is some sort of territorial embassy. If you leave from the United States, I think that should be treated, there should be an embassy office. And there should be more authoritative figures.
Mm-hmm.
And FBI should have jurisdiction.
Oh, definitely. But they're not going to do anything like that because a lot of countries, there's a lot of back and forth with other countries trying to negotiate and work things like that out. And it would be very, very costly to do something like that. As much as we would love for something like that to happen for the safety of people going on these cruises, there's so many politics that go into something like that it's just not, they're not going to do that unless, the House and Senate and the government are like, okay, this is getting to the point that we need to really step up and actually do something about it. And it's sad.
Here's the other thing. If she did jump overboard, they were close enough to shore, they're saying, that she could have swam.
Mm-hmm. Don't think that's the case at all. There's, again, like we were talking about with the cigarettes.
Yeah.
Why are you going to jump overboard and take your cigarettes with you?
And leave your shirt and your shoes and all the other stuff you need to survive. You're going to take your smokes.
Unless you got money in your pocket and you plan to buy more when you go ashore, then why are the cigarettes missing?
Right, yeah. It's very oddly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll ever find her? We're 30 years in, nearly.
Well, there have been cold cases that have gone back 50, 60 years that have been solved recently. And, it takes people like us that can get out there and talk to people and work on finding people who, finally gain a conscience of saying, okay, hey, and really giving accurate information that only certain people would know, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would take.
Everybody, I want you see Kendra in the comments, she's saying link in bio for hashtag Amy Alerts to be required on all cruise lines. go to her profile. I can't pin during a panel, but go to Kendra's profile. It's Kendra, and you can comment again, Kendra, with a pink heart. And go to her bio and go to that. They have over 700 signatures, I think they said, including Amy's parents.
Well, if she could send me the information, like message it to me, I'd be grateful to be a part of that. Kendra, yes, message me and like send me the info, and I'll share it as well. And I mean, that's something to definitely keep pushing for. I think that Amy's parents should also push for doing something like an Amber Alert type of thing for thank you for this type of stuff with cruises.
Mm-hmm.
That would be ideal, because
well, how about this idea? Here's a simple idea. I mean, I don't know, Kendra, I don't know what all is involved in the Amy alerts. Are you talking about it like an Amber Alert for on the cruise? Kind of like where you have everybody's phone number, and if there's somebody missing, everybody gets an alert just like that. That's genius, Kendra. That's simple. Do you know how simple that is? I used to have a thing for iZig way back. I'm talking what are we doing? This has been 15 years ago, when the whole text your name or keyword to blank 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 blank. And mine, the one that I got was 90210, because I thought it was like Beverly Hills. So you could text anything to me at 90210 and I would get it. Simple. You come in, phone number, you put the phone number in, an alert can go out. That's through iZig, who, by the way, still operates. And that's like $30 a month. I don't even know, El Cheapo. So simple that even if it's not a law, cruise ships could adopt this. But do you think they'll be like, well, we don't want to bother, they might complain that the phone, it'll be something like that to where they don't, for them to deny it.
I think that's a fabulous idea. If somebody can get an app, if there's somebody tech savvy enough to create an app to be able to do that, so that they're operating a remote server, and you have somebody that's created this app. So when people, this way it doesn't have to involve the cruise lines. When people go on to cruise ships, they can log into that app and say, I'm here, this is my room number or cabin number, whatever, and kind of like check-in type thing. I mean, that's above and beyond if somebody could create something like that.
Folks, we have 42,000 likes and 189 souls in this room right now. Today's live goal is 10 Summer of Lives. We already have 3. We only need 7 more to reach today's live goal. It goes to help support what I do, which is have open conversations about cases in true crime, and help give the voice to those who are voiceless, and give a voice to people who still can have one. Thank you so much, Jolly Holly. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you guys want to subscribe, there are a lot of benefits to being a subscriber, one of which is having instant access to Discord, where we talk about true crime all day long. I have case files, probably 30 of them, where I give you the timeline, court documents, photos. I keep you updated in all the latest, especially the most current ones. And so, yeah, come on into that. Subscribe. I don't know if I can pin it. Yeah, I can pin it. We have 220 subscribers. And thank you, Lady in Red. Thank you. I'm trying to stay above 200 subscribers, because when you go below TikTok takes like another 15% from you or something like that. So if we could stay above 200, that would be so fabulous. But there are so many benefits to being a subscriber. Sub only lives every Sunday. You get a 60% off code that you can use on my website on Overstock merchandise. You also get access to the Discord and custom stickers that I made that only you can use inside the chat. Lots of benefits. Thank you, Ruth, for using your stickers. Thank you so much. That little one, that little bony one, that's so cute. That's all.
I love
I
that.
used to do that, and that reminds me of that when they used to take the pictures and they'd go, oh my goodness. Oh, Robin, subscribe. Thank you. Welcome to the SCF family. Thank you for using your stickers. Thank you, Beast. Ruth says the selfies. Oh yes. Thank you, Ruth. Ruth says she loves being a subscriber. We hit a subway. If we get 3 more subscribers in the next 14 minutes, TikTok will unlock extra stickers and features just for you. Let's talk about this Rebecca case, because I pulled up a little bit about this, and this is a little scary. Factoid about this Rebecca Coram case that she went missing in 2011, the one that we just brought up in the statistics. Her family declared her unalive in 2016. Okay. Amy's family has not done that. Why do you think that is?
As a parent myself, and I can just speak to being as a parent myself, you always get a feeling because you're spiritually, and just there's this bond that just parents know what's going on, and you get a feeling. I don't agree with what people said on the docuseries about, just let it go, like they should just stop with all this and blah blah blah. No, that's their child, and if they have a feeling she's still out there somewhere, let them hold out hope, because I always say follow your intuition, and they're following their intuition. If they have that feeling, then it's probably not wrong.
And this is on a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
If it had been a child, would the cruise line have acted the same, or do you think they would have acted differently in either case?
They probably, for a child, would have actually acted a little differently, yeah. Because it's kind of one of those things. I've even had things with my own kids. It's like once they're 18, they're an adult, so it's like the authorities see it differently. Oh, they could have done this, what's in their past, blah blah blah, and this, that, and the other. But the thing is the family knows, their children, no matter what age. My kids are, one's about to be 27. I have one that's 22 and another that's just turned 18.
My son is 27 and my daughter is 22.
Oh!
Yeah, I had my son in July of 98 and my daughter in October of 2002.
Oh! Mine is August of 98 and January of 03.
We were totally pregnant at the same time.
Wow. I'm loving that. I'm loving it.
Just met right now.
Love it.
In the world. Holy cow.
That's fantastic. But yeah, so
I'm 48. Are you 48?
I am going to be 44 this year.
Okay.
I was a baby when I got married.
I I was
And
17.
I was 16. But my family conditions, just a little bit of background and why I went into the field of study I went into is I was physically, emotionally, mentally, and sexually abused by both parents. And
Oh my God.
nobody believed me. Um, and I was always the black sheep because when I came forward 7 years old saying, hey, like my, as I call her, egg hatcher came to me and asked me, hey, has your father ever done anything to you? And I told her, but nobody wanted to believe me. My thinking now, looking back on that so many years later from the criminology standpoint is, why do you ask a child that if you, like, out of the blue, unless you already suspect there's something going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother thing. But so I had to get out of I had to get away from them. And thankfully, my husband was my hero. And him and I have been married 28 years. And he has always been by my side. And so he knows how passionate I am about things like this, being able to help others. So I work with RAIN, helping other victims and survivors, and giving them a voice. That's really important to me. And also work with the I don't know how to word it here, because I don't want to get in trouble. But I work with another foundation for people who take their own lives.
I always say the exiting of the earth of one's own accord. That's how I put it.
Okay, that's perfect. So I work with those foundations as well, because there's actually a case very close to my heart that my oldest, it's been 10 years ago, this past May, that the love of her life left us in a way that was not so ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But from my background, a lot of what happened and that whole case, there's so many sketchy details and things that don't he wasn't the kind of person that would do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a passion thing that I've been working on kind of privately, because my daughter has moved on with her life. She still never forgets him. And we won't either. He was very much like a son to us, but I have to be careful with it because I don't want to dredge up and make things worse for her. But there are just so many things with what happened with that it's like, to this day I still can't let it go because it's something nagging at me that there just was something not right about it. So I've been wanting to gather a group of people who would be able to help me behind the scenes, low key, try to figure this out, because he was found 60 feet up in a tree. Does not make sense to me how you get up there by yourself 60 feet up. But hey.
Beast and Beauty, I had written you down. I saw you send one earlier and you've sent another four. So you've sent a total of 5 subscriptions today. And congratulations to everybody who got one. I lost the list. I don't know where it went. They go so fast you can't hardly think about it. But to all the new subscribers, thank you and welcome to the SCF family. We all have our reasons for doing something. Of course, I'm a jack of all trades. I've been this or that and the other. I ended up being an accountant, which was super boring. Went to school, got the boring degree. I mean, I was good at the numbers, but it didn't really fulfill what I felt like I needed to be doing. By way of health scares, I ended up being a true crime content creator. It's a long story. But I got here, and one of the reasons I do what I do is because I got away that day in the woods. I am a child SA and DV survivor. And so I thought about what if I hadn't got away that day when I was being chased by 2 men at 7 years old. What if I hadn't got away? What would have happened to me? And so that's the reason I do true crime, is to be the voice for those who don't have one, but those who still can have one. And that can be in the way of telling your story to change people's perspective about what happened to them. Maybe they can process it a little bit better to know they're not alone. And so I've been through tragedy, the most horrible tragedies you could think of that ever happened on earth with families.
Same.
I mean, I went to a double funeral for my parents, my in-laws, and a funeral for the 5-year-old. They were all killed in the car accident. Lost 3 siblings too within a week of each other. There's a lot of trauma and grief that human souls can have to endure while they're visitation on earth. This is the way I look at it. I'm a spiritual person. You pull up on a bus and they open the door and you get off and you say, oh my God, this is earth. How are you going to spend your time here? And how are you going to handle the things that happen to you? Because it's not going to be pretty. There's nobody on earth that got off the bus of life onto earth, the bus of soul onto life, and said, and then went back and said, boy, that was perfect. Everybody, no matter your age, race, money status, you're going to have trauma and grief and things that happen to you. So as human souls, all the same, taking the same breaths, we have to learn as a collective how to handle and process that and use that for positive and to change other people's lives.
I completely agree with you, Steph. I think it's wonderful. Like we've taught our children and we've always said, when life throws you a negative, you can turn it into a positive. And I highly, highly believe that. Because, God, if you knew some of the, things I've been through as well, it leaves a lasting impact on your life. And I can choose to wake up every day and feel sorry for myself and hate that, like, all this bad crap happened, or I can make more of it and help others who don't know how to overcome that stuff. And so, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Turn it into a positive in any way, shape, or form. And I believe that with a lot of like these cases, that's what the parents are trying to do. That's what the loved ones are trying to do.
Yeah.
They're doing their best to turn a negative into a positive by holding hope out.
Lady in Red, just let me do this quick mention. Lady in Red just sent 3 subscriptions. Thank you. Bim, Beaded, Bliss, and Carol, all our subscribers. Thank you and welcome to the SCF family.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Today's live goal is 10 of the Summer of Lives, and we already have 6 of them, so we only need 4 more to reach today's live goal. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lady in Red. Thank you so much for what you do. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, when you get back on the bus, they're going to open the doors just like you get back on. You got to go back to school, you know, when you pass away. And they're going to say, how was it? And instead of looking at the bus driver and saying it sucked, I want to look at the bus driver and say it was interesting. And here's what I learned.
Amen.
And he's going to say, do you want to go back? And I'm going to say, hell no.
Right?
Get on that highway to heaven, mister. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Yep. Well, you know, I've gone through a lot of, you were talking about health stuff as well. I've gone through a lot of health things. I found out a couple years ago I have epilepsy, and so I've lived in and out of the hospital for quite some time. I about a month ago just got out of the hospital after being there for a couple weeks because I fell and hit my spine and was temporarily paralyzed from the waist down. So before that, I was hospitalized because I had fluid around my heart, and it made me really sick. And, you know, my kids always ask me, Mom, how do you get through that kind of stuff without, like, just being messed up in the head? Like, you know, and I tell them I have another purpose. You know, I have other things that drive me, and I find I can, sure, feel sorry for myself and hate that I've gone through the things that I've gone through. Or I can help others in being able to put the knowledge and skills that I have towards something good, making all these negative things that have happened to others and finding a way to keep them going and keep them uplifted and extending what I have to offer to them. You know, so that's why I continue, like you said, you know, you kind of, like, certain things just fall in your lap, you know, and you do with them what you feel is right.
Thank you. Thank you, Jolly Holly. Thank you. The other thing is I'm going to be handing the bus driver a list of cases, and I want to know who done it to all of them by the time I arrive to the pearly gates. I'm bringing my Stephs textiles with me.
No, I want to definitely help you with these things, lend you more knowledge, and I can give you more extensive things kind of behind the scenes than I can on camera, obviously. Because there's more things that I can do, you know. I have to be careful with things I say and do on camera, but, you know, when we're talking with each other, there's more that I can give out, more ways that I can help. So maybe we can get some of those things accomplished before that bus.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, if you see yourself headed to the bus stop, you better get your things done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin, for the Summer of Love, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, you never know. I mean, you might be headed to the bus stop, or he just might pull up and be like, let's go, you know. So you got to be ready. But gosh, being now, my husband turns 50 in 4 days. And
Oh, my
we've been
kids
married for
turned
30.
50 last week. Happy birthday to your husband.
We got too many similarities.
I know.
Me and my husband
That's
got married in
crazy.
1994, so we've been married like 31 years.
Yeah, we got married in 97.
Oh, his birthday's Saturday. Did I miscount? No, it's Saturday. We're having a big party.
Yeah, I just did that for my husband Sunday. We did a big thing for him. Yeah.
This is wild.
I know. It's crazy. Hey, but
On his birthday?
everything happens for a reason. And people connect for a reason. I've made so many great connections and great friends that I, vibe well with, and um, things like that for a reason. Through the years, um, even with like the book that I have that I've written. Oh, that's fantastic. Congrats
Thank you,
on all the
babe.
love you're getting, Steph. That's fantastic.
You too.
Wonderful.
You have 1,200 coins.
Oh gosh. I I can't even see that, but thank you.
Yeah, you know how to go
Didn't
cash
know.
out your coins.
I I did not know. I have the bifocals, but
Thank you,
but
Beast.
all of you are fantastic. This is
Thank you, Beast.
wonderful.
Thank you, Beast.
Um, like the love that you're getting is so fantastic, and the work that you're doing, I so commend you on. And the people that support you are fantastic as well. Um, you know, the um the thing that I was gonna say is when it comes to say like the trauma that we've been through, I took and I learned this from another forensic anthropologist
Yeah.
by the name of Kathy Reichs. And she writes a lot of things that she's encountered and been through into her books. So I did the same thing. I took a nod from her and did the same thing. I took a lot of the things, negative things that happened in my life, and turned it into a fiction book. Um,
Oh gosh. I excuse me. Uh who done that? Thank you, Mama Look. Thank you. Thank you so much. Goal achieved. Thank you guys.
nice.
Um what was we talking about?
Oh, the book stuff.
Oh, book stuff. I have I need to finish, but I have wrote some on my life story book.
Hmm.
I don't even I even designed the book cover and everything because grief can absolutely tear a person apart and the family apart too.
Hmm.
And I actually created a book cover within the cover is the headstone of my in-laws' death.
Hmm.
Because that was really the beginning of a lot of the grief and hurt. Of course, already lost both of my parents, and that was traumatic for me too. So Dana says I need more than one book.
I see
Dana,
that.
yeah, a book. It's like 30 books in a series.
Yeah, my book is gonna be a trilogy, with how I'm putting things, but they're really big books. um, and everyone in my book is someone that's real life, a part of my life and the events that happen. um, but I think I know for me, writing about that stuff, even though I was putting it into like a fictional element, was healing. It was therapeutic. Yes, it's hard kind of reliving that trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure you can attest to that. It's hard to relive that when you're
Well,
writing
I
about
mean, some of the stuff when I was a kid, I didn't deal with till I was 40.
it.
I couldn't even think about it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
couldn't process it.
right. And, you know, it, you really have to dig down deep and find that inner strength to pull all that out and again turn that negative into a positive. Um, so the first book took me 10 years to write because I was really going through it when I was, writing it, having to relive all that stuff and
Mm-hmm.
write it in such a way that wouldn't scar the reader like it scarred me. But those scars make us tougher.
They
So,
do. They do. You get to a point where you're a little bit more brave with what you say and challenge in your life because you've already been hurt so much, you know you're going to be okay. And I find the older I get, like if somebody's like being nonsensical, I'm going to tell you about it because,
yeah.
you know,
hmm
Jolly Holly's wanting to know the name of your book.
So it's called Mira, Mira. And it's book one of the Supernatural Assassins book series. It's also on my page. If you go to my page, you can see all my book stuff. It's free on Amazon, Kindle, and it's also on Audible. Just finally got it on Audible. Um,
You know,
and
one of the things that's made me slow down on my book is I don't even know how to get one published.
well,
So
I help you. I help
yes,
you. I would love to help you. I've helped several authors. I actually have my own book group on Facebook, where I help get authors started and help them in their book journeys. So I'd be more than happy to help you with that in any way, shape, or form if you need it. Um, you know, I I don't ask for anything in return. I don't do any of like I'm not going to ask for money. I do all of everything that I do because I love it and I'm passionate about it and I truly just want to help.
hmm
So, get with me on it. I will help you. I'll connect you with some great people. Um, we're working right now on my book being turned into a TV series. That's great.
this is the book cover, and it's called "Truth Be Told: Living Grief, Anger, and Betrayal."
Mm.
I wonder where that April 23, 2024. Let me go back and show you because this one is April 2024, April 23rd, 2024. When you search for them, it makes it darker so you can't really see. So I'm trying to go back to the original. April 23rd or April 13th. Yeah, here we go. Oh, wait. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I love that. That's a beautiful cover. Yeah, that's a beautiful cover.
I just have to finish it. I wrote down some stuff, but I mean, it's just like you said, it's so much when you start going back to your life.
It can get overwhelming. So I will be here to help you. through the good times and the bad, if you'll allow me, if you want to, continue working on it, like, because I know how rough it can be.
Yeah.
And, um, I want to see you be able to get through it because it is very healing and therapeutic. It's honestly been one of the best things I think that I've done for myself to help me heal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, totally got your back. I'm so happy to be able to help you on that. And oh, thank you so much. Yeah. I just pulled it up. If y'all want to see a picture on my camera, I'll see if I can show you.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome.
So, it is basically my life story in fiction form, and all the characters are based off of true people in my life. A lot of the events are very, um, based off of true events. So I will help you get there. I'm excited. I want to be able to help you do that. And work on that, and then also work on cases.
Yes.
And
Like I can even write. I'm known for the Micah Miller case. I don't know if you know this case.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
That's what we from minute one. I could totally write a book about the Micah Miller case. I know every detail in and out, including a lot of details, non-released details. So, I mean, it could be anything like that, like a true crime book, like a little one just for now, just to get my feet wet. That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, there are so many different avenues that we can take as far as doing like book for you, and then avenues of cases. We can, even if you'd be down for the idea, co-author a book on some of these cases.
Yes, with an anthropologist, throw down.
I'm I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes. Yes.
And
Stephanie, accountant, anthropologist, come together. Solve the cases.
yes, everybody.
I always, when I was in college, when I got my accounting degree, what I had in my mind was forensic accounting. Because I thought I could really wear people out for doing things wrong. But I never found the right job. Now I'm a forensic true crime armchair detective.
Well, you'll find with me. I don't know if you've ever watched the show Bones.
Yes.
I always tell people, and I've had people actually tell me, "Have you ever watched the show Bones? You're pretty much like that." I think that show was like written about you and your husband, like your life and everything, because I am very much literal, just like Brennan. My husband gets so upset with me. My brother, they get so upset with me. Like, they're big jokesters, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, that makes no sense. And my husband will have like these theories about, like, oh, well, the earth and perspective and this and that, and I'm always like, okay, so you were just telling me that this perception of this and this and this and time is relative and all of that. I thrive on facts. Give me facts. And he's like, well, facts are only like what you make them. Okay. So then there's headphones sitting on my desk. Well, you can perceive of that what you want to perceive it, but it's fact. It's sitting there. And, so we get in like these debate type of things, and he'll say something like that, and I'm saying, so then what you're telling me is that, this perspective, for this is, whatever. And he'd be like, okay, you got me. Like,
Thank you for the roses, Julie Bean. Well, it's time for me to go for the day, but I wanted to thank you so much for coming up to my panel, and I feel like I've made a new friend. Like the magnet pulls of the earth just was like, psh. So that's really cool, and I really appreciate you. And I'm going to message you my phone number.
Oh, great. That would be awesome. Let's definitely do that. And I'll have to figure out how to, you'll have to show me how to do the Discord thing.
I will do that. All right, folks, you're making my dreams come true right before my eyes. Every single day we get up and do this. Every single day you show up. Everything I do is because of you, literally like the song. I love you so much inside of my heart. Make sure you follow me on any social media platform. All you have to do is look for the same username and logo. You can find me especially on YouTube. Follow me here and YouTube. That's the main two, but I'm everywhere else too. Insta, X, Facebook. So wherever you are, there I am too. I will be live again in the morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you then. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. Bye.